how'd your parents come around on this? Because I would expect like a typical Desi family would be like, look, it's good that you have a hobby, but school is what's important at this time.
So I convinced them for literal years. Like,
Okay.
because I told them, I was like, look, I love what I'm doing right now. Like, I really want to do this for my entire life. But you know what it was? My dad was like, this is a phase.
Mm,
This is just a phase in your age where you think you love something, but after like a little while, you'll start drifting apart from it.
okay.
And you know what? I even doubted that about myself. I was like, yo, that actually might be true to a certain extent. Like what if a year down the line I start hating this stuff?
Hmm.
But so I gave myself time too. I started working with Xavier and I saw how much potential this industry has because before I didn't have any exposure. I did not work. I did not see what the industry is capable of. But when I started working with him, I kind of got the insights of the industry. So I was like, you know what? This is actually doable. Like doable to a level where you could sustain yourself very, very well if you take the right steps. And like it's doable. That's all I needed. If it's
Right.
doable, like that's fine. So I told my dad too. Like I was like, look, Shabir did it. Why can I not do it?
Mm,
And then same example, like you're not Shah Rukh Khan. Like there's only one in a million people that do this, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
Shabir's just like one of them,
right.
and whatever. And like I was like, okay, this and that. And one of the biggest problems here in my household was that like my dad wanted me to do a university degree.
Of
Like
course.
that's all he wanted.
Right.
And first I convinced, I was like, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm doing the film industry. Like that's what all I'm going into.
Okay.
But then it came down to like, okay, if you're going there, then you need to have a proper university degree. And at the time, we did not find any programs that were like offering film for like 4 years, university, proper degree, whatever, whatever. So I kind of got screwed over there. But then like a year after, I found a sick program at Ryerson University that did film, 4 year degree program, and it was sick. Like you could do masters, you could get sick jobs after that. Like it had co-op internships, everything.
Hmm.
And I was like, yo, that's it. Like that's the program I have to go into. And I found out about that in at like the end of grade 11. So grade 12 is like the main year, So
Right.
like you got to grind your ass off
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
grade 12 and get into university. So I was like, that's it. That's the goal. I have to get into Ryerson no matter what happens, or else I'm screwed.
Yeah.
That's straightforward how it was going to be. So I told my dad, I was like, look, there's this program. He did some research on his own, and he came to a conclusion because I convinced him for such a long time. I was like, look, if I'm not going into film, like there's literally no point in doing architecture, civil engineering, whatever.
Yeah.
Like anything
Yeah.
other than film is just a waste of 4 years of my time.
Right.
And those 4 years are the most crucial years of my career because
Mm,
in those 4 years, if I don't do film, one, my career is destroyed. Like I think it's destroyed because 4 years is a huge time gap,
big
you
chunk.
know? So I was like, okay, one, I'm gonna get screwed. But if I do film and I do this on the side, I could potentially grow my own business, get the degree. After the degree, either work for like a sick company, or if my business booms, then why the hell not just continue that?
Hmm.
So then my dad was like, okay, you know what? This kind of makes sense. So, he thought about it for like a month or two, and then he was like, you know what? Just do what you love. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing what you love, no matter how successful you are in life, you will not be happy.
That must
And
have been a
that's
big step for your dad.
huge, huge, huge. Like, I remember he had like tears in his eyes, but he's like, you know what? Like, it's not my life. It's your
Mm,
life. You got to live it.
mm.
And if you're an engineer or a filmmaker, whatever, I'm happy for you. And letting go of that dream of his son doing a blue collar job or white collar, whatever it's called.
White. Yeah.
uh, White. Okay.
White's the office. Blue is like labor.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
the white collar job, and like that's a huge step. I understand his
Yeah.
perspective, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but then my dad also told me that day, he's like, look, if you're a filmmaker and you're not like the top dog in the industry, then like this is all a waste of a time. So I was like, you
Right.
know what,
Right.
I'll try my best.
Sure.
So I grinded out grade 12. I got into Ryerson, which was
Oh,
a
amazing.
huge thing. But while I was doing that, I had to leave Xavier because I was like, look, it's either that I focus all my time with your work or I focus all the time on my school, get
Mm.
into Ryerson, like make my own career. And Xavier understood that too. And he was like, you know what? You should do that.